Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Betty, and in case you guys don't know me or are new to my channel, welcome. Everybody's pretty much new because I just started. Welcome and thank you for watching. So please subscribe if you guys want to see more. And just wanted to share my experience as a CNA, which was actually my first job as a CNA. And that was when I graduated from high school back in 2005. And so I was able to get my CNA certification in high school, and because I was in the health career pathway, so I was able to get that there. So as soon as I graduated, I applied at one of the local hospitals and I got the job as a CNA. I started working as a CNA during the night shift, and I was there for 2 months. The only reason why I was there for 2 months was because I had to leave for college, so that's why it was so short. But yeah, it was my first job, and you guys gonna guess how much I got paid? It's crazy. I got paid $6.05. $6. Huge difference from now. I actually don't know how much CNAs get paid today, but that was like minimum wage at the time. I believe it was $5.75, 5 something. So I was getting paid a little extra. 6.05 but I didn't care. It was my first job. I absolutely loved it, and it made me stick around with nursing. So yeah, and then I wanted to share my experience as a CNA. I actually had my first code, and I experienced my first death body during my whole 2 months of being a CNA. So I started working there, and I met this older lady who was so nice and sweet. She was like a little grandma. She was petite, older age. She definitely looked like a old grandma from like the way they show them on TV. And she was just, to me, she was just so fragile, but that woman was so strong, and she just made me get so much inspired by her, because she was so, I was like, man, if this older lady can do this, like I can do it, and nobody should ever complain, because I mean, she's showing us a great example. And so I would try to go in and do my whole routines. I believe it was like 6 patients or 10, 11. I actually don't remember anymore. It was so long ago. And do my routines of vital signs and offering water and whatever it is that I needed to do. Then I would do my bath, and then I would try to rush. I wouldn't rush, but I would try. I'm always been so fast with my tasks, so I would try to finish as soon as I could, so I can go and help out the other CNA, who was this lady. And I would go and ask her, like, for me to, I would just offer to help, because I was like, she needs some help, even though she wouldn't need help. She like would flip patients who were so heavy, like 300 plus pounds, and she was just so sweet. I don't remember her name, sorry, I don't remember her name, but yeah, anyways, so yeah, and I would help her finish up her baths and try to help her as much as I could with her patients. And then but yeah, and I believe I was like about 2 weeks out of my orientation. I don't remember how long orientation was for being a CNA anymore. It must have been like 2 weeks. I don't know. Because it was such a short 2 months that I would think it was a short, or maybe it was a month, and I don't remember anymore. And I started, it was my first day off of without a preceptor. And I was walking by and I saw this patient, and she was kind of gasping for air. So I go in, and she was just asking. She couldn't verbally speak because she had a trach, so she would do all over her speaking by gestures. And she was just telling me to turn on her fan that she had by the wall. So I turned on her fan, and then I asked her like if she was okay, and then she's like, oh, okay. So then I walk out, and then sure enough, a little bit later, I pass by. And oh, no, before that, I go to the nurse who was in charge of that patient, and I let her know, oh, I think your patient was having sort of a difficulty, but she just said she was fine with the fan being on, but if you want to go check her. So she went to go check her, and then she was fine, so they just ordered a treatment just to make sure that she was fine, because she was coughing up a lot. So then the RT was in there, and then I happened to pass by when the RT was gonna suction, and I wanted to see what she was gonna do, because everything was new to me. I had no idea what anything meant, in the medical field. Like, I had no idea what was what. So I wanted to learn, and the way I learn is by seeing and getting my hands on so I can learn. So I went in, and the RT was gonna deep suction her, and then as she's doing all of this, and I think she's getting done, when the patient started gasping for air and she couldn't catch her breath. So then she just told me like, call code blue. And then I get out. I had no idea what to do, and because in orientation I don't think they think like us CNAs can do much during the code, so they don't really train us for a code. So I get out and I tell the unit clerk, RT wants me to call the code for this patient in so room. And she's like, okay, here's the phone, call this number and report it. So I'm like dialing that number, and I'm like, I have a code in room number, and then they ask you all these questions and I answer. And then sure enough, everybody comes in, rushes into the room, and it starts doing the whole coding of the patient. And then I go by, and then I go in right before everybody goes in. The RT's like, give me a Christmas tree. And I'm like, what is a Christmas tree? Like, there's no point in me asking her what it is, when I think I did ask her. I was like, how does it look like? And she's like, you don't know what it is, da, da, da. And then I go into the supply room. I had no idea what any of these stuff were. I'm trying to read Christmas tree, and I don't think it's called Christmas tree, but that's the way we call it in the medical field, Christmas tree, this thing that goes in the oxygen adapter. And then so I just grab a bunch of respiratory equipment and I take it into the room. Like, here, any of these is what you're looking for? And she's like, no, but I got it. I got one already. And then I'm like, oh, I feel so dumb. And everybody walks into the room, and then obviously they push you away. The only thing I could do was offer gloves to the doctors. And then they start doing the whole code, and I step out because I felt like I was just in the way of people because I couldn't really do anything. And I just sit outside the door, and I'm like, man, like I want to do something, but I don't know what to do, and I can't really do anything. So then I just get out, and then the CNA comes by, and she tells me like, it's okay, Betty, like this happens, and there's nothing much we can do other than just stand by and get whatever it is that they're yelling for us to get. And I was like, oh, okay. So while I was like in the hallway waiting, I was just like taking everything in, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like a code. This is how an actual code looks like. I remember my heart being palpitating so fast, and it was because everybody, it was just so much energy that is just like, my body was just like agitated, not agitated, but I could feel like my body just like worked up even though I wasn't doing anything. I think it was like nervous and things that were actually going on and everything. And then I was like, oh my God, like, and then I told myself like, is this something you want to do? Because this is what you're getting yourself into. Like, you're not going to be outside this room. You're going to be the one in there compressing and giving meds and who knows what, because at the time I didn't know what exactly a nurse would do during the code. And then I imagined everything there. And then I recollected myself, and I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. Even then, like, even more, I wanted to do it more for a bigger reason, because I was like, I don't know anything. I could be helping. I'm an extra person here. And I was like, I need to go out there and like learn so that I can do something next time. And then my nursing career started from there. So that was my first code blue. And then after that, I don't know if it was the same week, but one of my patients died, but this was an unexpected death. Like, it was an older person who was of age, and he was just gonna pass away. So they had all the family come in, and they were just easing his pain, and all the family said their goodbyes. And sure enough, past midnight, the patient passed away. And then the other CNA comes along and tells me like, let's get your patient ready. And I'm like, ready for what? And it's like, they're gonna come and pick him up, so we need to fix him up. And I'm like, okay, like I wasn't trained on any of these, so on this, so I have no idea like what to do. And she's like, okay, let's go into the patient's room. So we go in, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm in a room with a dead body. I had just seen this person like alive, and now he's not here, but I'm seeing him here. I was just like, oh my god, like all these thoughts were going in my head, and I was just trying not to like think about it because I didn't want to freak out. And I'm like, oh my god, like I'm actually gonna touch this body. Like I don't want to, but I have to, but I feel weird. Like I just didn't know what to do. And then the CNA comes along, and then she's like, okay, let's put something here. I think it was like a towel, just to keep the mouth closed because the jaw would just open. And then she's like, cover the eyes either with tape or with a towel also, just to keep the eyes closed so that we don't feel like the patient is looking at us while we clean them up. And that's pretty much what we did. Just give them a last bath, leave them clean. But yeah, so we just bathed them, cleaned them up, and then they, sure enough, they came and picked them up and they took them away. I was like, oh my god, like that's crazy. And I think that might have happened all in the same week. That's why I remember it. But yeah, and I remember it so vividly. Like I remember their faces. I remember how they looked. I remember the room sections where they were, the hallway, everything. Just like I'm just visualizing it right now. But yeah, so I just wanted to share my CNA experience, and that was pretty much my CNA experience that I had during those 2 months of the summer before going off to college. And yeah, and I hope whoever's out there who is looking at this video, if you're thinking of being a CNA, if you're thinking of being a nurse, whatever it is that you're thinking of being, do it. Don't let anything stop you. If you see something, obviously you're like, oh wait, this is not for me, then I mean, don't do it. Yeah, like do it. Should you do CNA before nursing? Yes and no. I would say yes, so that when you're in nursing school you can work as a CNA, and then be like a nurse tech. But yeah, like you don't really need to be a CNA to be a nurse, but it just gives you more respect for the CNA, because sometimes there's nurses who don't respect CNAs, and they feel like, well, I have a CNA should be doing this and this and this, and I'm not gonna do it because that's what a CNA is for. And no, like you're a nurse, like your patient comes first, whether your CNA or not is there, like you need to take care of it. And then sometimes you don't think of it, like a CNA has always more load than the nurse has. So help each other out. You want to be in a good environment where everybody gets along, and helping each other out is the way to do it. Obviously, if don't do everything on your own if you can't do it on your own. Like if you're trying to lift a patient who is very heavy, get help, otherwise you're going to be the one in pain later on. But anyways, yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and if you guys want to check out more videos on relating to my nursing career, just click down the subscribe button and like this video. And yeah, leave me a comment of anything that you guys want to know, and then maybe I'll share it on my next video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll have an upcoming video on my pediatric experience as a pediatric nurse, which was my first nursing job right after college, and I'll be sharing that as well. So thank you guys for watching. Bye now.